were there, obviously, when Michael retired for the first time. By the way, I was there as a Cub reporter for the Northwestern School of Journalism. I was in the Berto Center that day. And I just remember what a huge gathering it was and what a stunner it was. What was it like from your position? Because, again, that's a preview of what we're going to see this weekend. Will?
Same thing. I had heard whispers of it, but you were like, listen, the guy's in his prime.
Yep.
He's not going to retire. I understand what's going on, and what's happening with his father. I know how emotional that is. But we also felt that, with the loss of his father, where else would he want to be but on the basketball floor, to honor his father. But when it happened, same thing. I was actually not at the Berto Center. I watched on TV, and I was just, it was one of those things that once I heard it was a reality, I still couldn't believe it until I actually saw it. And then once I saw it and he mouthed those words, I just remember sitting there like, holy,
yeah.
And I was just like, where do we go? And then it was kind of like that moment of, where do we go from here?
Well, what was it like without him in that season?
Well, we had to reestablish our identity. And, huge credit goes to Horace Grant, to Scottie Pippen, and more so to Bill Cartwright, to maintain that edge, to talk about how competitive we still could be, how good we could be. And, we ended up winning 55 games because, it was – and I'm not saying it was easier for Phil, but, we kept hearing the same thing. We got to play with our chip on their shoulder. We got to show these guys that we can play without Michael. It's your duty to yourselves and, blah, 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 blah. I make it a comparison to Doc Rivers, who I'm friends with. He won Coach of the Year when he was with the Orlando Magic when they went 41-41. But Doc said he gave the same speech for 82 games. Those guys in the other locker room don't respect you. All right, let's go. It was kind of like Phil was using the same thing every game. Play with a chip on your shoulder. Prove to them that they're wrong. Show them how good you are without Michael Jordan.
Did you think Michael quit on you? I know it's a tough question to ask because we all know the emotions that was going on with him and his dad, but he was everything. Did you think he quit? Did the team think he quit on them and you?
No, absolutely not. It's I thought that he was looking for another challenge, quite honestly, and he found it in baseball. And he talked about his love for baseball as a youngster. And I don't want to say he got bored with basketball, but I think the Jordan rules had come out. There was a crack in the armor. It wasn't just be like Mike. There were a lot of things, the gambling and the book and, everything else. And I think that, I don't want to say it got to him, but I think part of him was tired of the drama that became being Michael Jordan. He just wanted to be a basketball player. And I think he also realized that because he wasn't an activist, he caught heat for that. He wasn't Muhammad Ali. He caught heat for that. He just wanted to be a basketball player. You saw last week, he said, hey, if that's selfish, then maybe it is, but I'm sorry, but that's who I am. I just wanted to eliminate all the distractions and be a basketball player. I think the distractions, I don't want to say they became too much, but I also believe that he wanted to try something new, and there weren't any distractions in baseball at the time. The only distraction was people were, wondering, can he even do this?
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.